Welcome back to the Highly Original Podcast. I'm Joe Martino.
Michael Einier.
And we've got a special Valentine's Day episode for you guys.
We do, man. I forgot.
Let's say this is our third holiday
Third
episode.
Holiday on the Highly Original Podcast.
Yeah, we took off for Christmas.
We did.
And so we got our first romantic comedy that we're doing, the 40-Year-Old Virgin. So that's our topic for today.
Right.
And we are also going to have a nice little side subject that's in the realm of love and Valentine's Day.
Romance.
Romance is
There
in
you
the
go.
air. Maybe you guys are listening to this with some special someone right now.
Right.
But, I mean, that would be weird.
I mean, I'm recording.
Especially if you're if you're on a date right now and this is what you're listening to.
Oh, yeah, no.
I mean,
change this
that's
right
kind
now.
of weird.
If you're on a date right now listening to this, please change it.
But actually, man, I have a funny submission story or story like that was submitted.
Okay. I was for a second. I was like, how deep are we going into Valentine's?
Yeah.
Here?
Ooh, all right.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So this is actually a
submitted story.
A submitted story
Gotcha.
that I have permission to tell.
Okay.
And not gonna give the name away, but I just think this is really funny, and I wanted to share this with you, Mike.
Sure.
Yeah. So someone I know did this when they were they were in a relationship with a girl, and it was kind of clear to him that it was kind of nearing an end. Like there were warning signs, I guess. He didn't get too much into it, but I guess it was winding down. He felt it, so he did this, which was kind of helped speed the process up. So, are you familiar with the song "Redbone" by Childish Gambino?
I am. I love that song.
I mean, you know that's one of my favorite songs, right?
Right.
But yeah, so he got like like kind of this is like kind of like one of those classic high school movies. He got like the van all set up for like them to use.
Right. Go for a drive.
And yeah. So he takes her to the van, shows her the setup, and puts on Redbone, but it's not Childish Gambino's version. So there's a version on the internet where Carl Wheezer sings Redbone. So he puts it on, and it starts out all normal. It's like do 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 do, and all of a sudden it's just like daylight, and
Oh God,
the girl just she was not happy about this.
Oh man,
She was not happy about, and they broke up. They broke up. Not probably a couple weeks later.
Wow.
And I was asking him, I was like, "Did you do that on purpose?" And he was like, "Yeah, it was an accelerant to get to the end."
Dang, that's a good method. The
I
Carl
don't know.
Wheezer method, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
You get out of a bad relationship and play Carl Wheezer singing Redbone.
Yeah, but I don't know. I
God,
thought,
see, he's got some intestinal fortitude to do that, man. I don't think I could do that. I'd be so embarrassed.
you'd be like,
I'd cringe myself. I'd break up with myself. I'd be like,
I don't know.
I'm done with myself.
When he told me that, I just thought it was.
That's awesome.
I thought it was the funniest story. So I just wanted to. I wanted to share it. I mean, I don't know too much of the details. I don't know exactly when they broke up, or how long they had been dating. So I don't know all the. I just know that they were dating. He knew it was coming to an end, and he
made it go faster.
He took advantage of that. So
good for him.
yeah. So, yeah. I mean, with that, man. I guess real quick, a little side, because we don't want to make the whole thing about Valentine's Day.
Right.
Mike, I just wanted to ask you, and what are some good any good shows going on, man, right now that you want to recommend?
I'm actually and you know me, I don't really watch so much TV because we're both you and I are so busy with so many things. But there's one show that captivated my attention, Joseph, and it is Tulsa King.
All right, Tulsa King. I know the basic synopsis.
You saw Burger King right now.
This is the sequel.
It's a sequel,
Yeah.
part 2.
So I know it's Sylvester Stallone.
Right.
And obviously you're going to give the synopsis, but where is it available for streaming? Because I don't know.
Paramount Plus.
I had no idea if I have access.
Well,
to
you're
it.
gonna get it because I have it. Now,
Oh,
I'm gonna have to give you
that's
our little Valentine's
it's a
Day
little
special.
Valentine's Day present to me. All right.
Joe gets Paramount
All
Plus.
right, awesome, man.
Nah, dude, it's on.
Yeah, what's it about
streaming.
though? Yeah.
No, so it's about this ex. Well, I wouldn't even say ex. It's about this mafia capo, Dwight Manfredi, who gets out of jail. I think he did like 25 years. And I don't want to give too much away, but
Well, he's kind of ex, right? But like not.
no,
He quickly comes out of retirement. Kind of.
Yeah, he right away gets out of jail and he's in a meeting and he's like, yeah, look, the acting boss they have trying to give all these orders and Dwight, Sylvester Stallone's character Dwight's like, yeah, but your rules don't apply to me. Like, he's very making it known, like, no, I did my time. I'm the boss of myself.
Well, is he? So it's not a witness protection thing. I thought he was like in witness protection, and they sent him to Tulsa where like there is no mafia, and he like makes
a
mafia.
It's not witness protection. I thought that too. Like, it's
okay.
very much like he's Dwight. Like he's not hiding it. He's not hiding it at all. It's really funny though because if you guys haven't watched the show, please skip like 3-4 minutes ahead of this. But should I spoil it for you or?
I mean, yeah, I don't care.
All right. So, real quick, Dwight's at this bar in Tulsa, and he's doing some mobby things. You know, he established himself as a mob member. You know, he's kind of running things in Tulsa at the moment. And he's at a bar, and he's like cute girls come up to him and saying like, "Hey, can we get a picture with you? You look famous." And he's like, "Yeah, I don't really like pictures taken. You know, this, that, and the third." And then an older woman comes up. And she's like, you know, you kind of turned down my friend's offer that, you know, they're having a party over there. You should let them take your picture with you. And they end up going to a strip club together. He's like, you guys want to party? I'll show you a party. Takes them off to a strip club, and they just have a great time, right? Ends up getting with this girl, the older girl. Ends up sleeping with her. And a couple episodes later, you're in this meeting, like, with all these police officers. And the girl's one of the cops.
Oh, wow, okay.
And, like, his face pops up on the screen, and she's like, F me. Like,
I wasn't expecting you to give that big of a spoiler.
Well, I mean, Joe, come on.
All right, yeah, I hope if you guys were planning on watching it, you didn't skip through
don't, but that's just a
right.
minute little detail. There's so much going on in that show, man. And real quick, just as a recommendation, if you like mafia films, if you like Goodfellas, Casino, A Bronx Tale, this has those kind of vibes, man. You're along with the ride, man. It's great. It's great time, man.
No, yeah. I guess my big recommendation, I have like two real quick. One is Adult Swim Smiling Friends. Like, I've been pushing that on you, and a lot of people, a lot of my friends, I've been pushing that on them. It is a surreal adult animated comedy about like these monsters that have a company where they go and make people smile, and they just get into antics. It's very, if you like surreal, it's for you, and it's just, I think the writing's fantastic because they'll be doing weird stuff, but the writing feels so realistic. And like, there's one episode where they go to Brazil, but they forgot to book a hotel, and the whole episode's them just trying to figure out what they're gonna do, and the dialogue is just so realistic. I think that episode deserves an Emmy. So that's what I gotta say about that. The other show I've been watching lately, Mike, that you might be interested in is HBO's Succession.
Okay.
So it's like kind of, you know who Rupert Murdoch is?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a Rupert Murdoch type guy who is old. He owns this big media conglomerate and like news station that is like sort of like a Fox News, but it's it's not obviously for the show. And he's getting close to retirement, and all his kids are trying to like angle to like be in a good position when he retires.
Okay.
And like it's just like it's like kind of like a dark comedy. I think Will Ferrell is an executive producer.
Wow.
Yeah, and like Adam McKay is like an executive producer. So there are elements of comedy in it, and it's just it's good. It's entertaining, and it's like messed up because like both the dad and the kids like they'll like use each other, they'll lie to each other, but then they still care about each other. Like it's So that's I think season 4 of that is coming out this spring. So I'm almost done season 3.
Nice.
So
Check that out. Man.
Those are my recommendations.
I really can't believe I gave such a huge spoiler. I just can't conversate. I always got to ruin things, don't I? You know what I mean? You just.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but you did kind of you did go in pretty deep into detail.
Why?
I don't know.
Why did I do that?
I don't know.
It's okay.
Well, because I mean, normally that's what we do on this show.
Right.
But usually those are old shows
Older
that aren't
currently
on the air. But
well, I did get my spoiler warning, guys. So if you caught that spoiler, you didn't want to catch it. That's on you.
All right. Well, no, it's fine. But so with that, we're gonna move into our main topic, which is the 40-year-old virgin.
No, I'm not.
What?
Oh, I thought you were telling me something.
No. Yeah. So the movie, The 40-Year-old Virgin, that is the 2005 romantic comedy that was directed by Judd Apatow, and it starred Steve Carell, and also featured Seth Rogen, Paul Rudd, and Romany Malco, and Catherine Keener. So that's kind of main cast there.
Okay.
So essentially, the plot of the movie is this guy named Andy. He's 40 years old. He works at, I guess, help me out here, man. Is it like a...
I'd say
it's like a store that's
Shack.
like not really like around anymore. I guess it's like Radio Shack or something. I think it's called Smart Tech or
Smart
something.
Tech, yeah. It's basically a Radio Shack. Kind of...
But yeah, it is interesting to watch.
Best Buy. Kind of like a Best Buy.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching, I was like, man, this is kind of like a dated movie.
It is.
In some ways. But yeah, so he works like in the stock room at this sort of Best Buy like store. And he's never lost his virginity, obviously, as the title says, and it's kind of just been years like since he's been in a relationship, and he was never able to do it, so he kind of gave up.
Right.
And his coworkers invite him to play poker one night, where while they're all drinking, they discover that he's still a virgin, and then they tell everybody the next day, and they all kind of make it their mission to help him one way or another, in all different ways. Like one of them's like really aggressively wingmanning. The other guy suggests, Seth Rogen's character tries to get him to meet someone at a bookstore.
Right.
I think Paul Rudd kind of adopts because he got broken up with. He's like, you know what, you got a right. Screw women. We don't need them. And eventually he meets this this mother who's also around 40 years old, and they start a relationship, but he doesn't tell her that he's a virgin, and they kind of end up agreeing not to have sex until 20 dates, and eventually things kind of. His secret begins to catch up with him, and it causes misunderstandings, and that's sort of the basic plot of the movie, I would say. I don't know, Mike, would you say that's...
I'd agree with you, yeah. I think that's where
pretty,
the comedy comes in.
Pretty good synopsis there.
Synopsis.
Yeah, so, Mike, I just want to, kind of help sculpt out the movie.
Okay.
Who would you say is your favorite main character? There's a big ensemble cast, so I would say, anyone who's Andy, his main co-workers, and his girlfriend. I'd say that's kind of the main characters, and we got supporting characters.
Right. Okay. I'm torn, man. I'm torn between Jay and between Andy. I really am.
And Jay, okay, all right. Yeah, so who? I guess who are you gonna pick, and then we can.
Oh man, am I cheating by saying Andy?
No, man.
I'm not.
No,
because I'm going with Andy. I just think, first of all, Steve Carell playing Andy, all the lines are delivered perfectly. When he's trying to explain to the guys.
This is right before The Office too. So
yeah,
this was Steve Carell's kind of big break. But you were saying
it really was his big break, I think, and Just like the scene, like you said, they're all playing cards, man. And he's trying to act like he knows what he's talking about, describing like his sex life.
And they start catching on.
Yeah.
And then they start asking questions.
And it's just his innocence is just like hilarious to me. You know what I mean? Like when he's in the doctor's office playing with the
I think
the model of
the model of the vagina.
The vagina, yes, we could say that.
Yeah.
And he like.
I mean, we just made it weird, but I mean, we can say that. Like,
we can.
It's not.
I'll definitely censor that later. No. Nah, man, it's just hilarious, man. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I feel like you want to say the one quote that's kind of at the poker game. Where
Yeah.
He's like,
I get that, you don't mind?
Yeah.
We're talking about, female breasts.
Yeah,
And they're trying to
figure out if he's actually been like
with a girl or not. And he was like, they were like, what you have? What were they like? And he was like, oh man, they just felt like bags of sand. And everybody instantly knew at that moment. Like, no, you're a virgin.
No, yeah, I mean, no, Andy's great. Like he's collected all these comic book character, action figures, and
yeah,
and it was interesting because that's like before like Marvel was making his movies. So you got all these characters they're talking about, and I'm like, man, most people like probably didn't know these names yet.
I'm real quick, another thing about Andy, I think when Cal was trying to give him advice on like how to talk to women in the bookstore.
And that's Seth Rogen's character.
Seth Rogen's character, Cal, yeah. He was just like, women, they just want to be asked questions so they could talk the whole time. And Andy, Steve Carell's character, goes up to this girl. And to me...
Yeah, played by Elizabeth Banks.
Right, who's awesome.
Brilliantly.
Yeah.
Beth is the character.
Beth. He goes up to Beth. And to me, that was the creepiest thing I've ever seen. Like, just being so creepy. But it worked. Like, she seemed pretty into it. And I just think that's hilarious to me. She's like, don't tell anybody you just, like, talk. And he was like, I won't. Unless you want me to tell on you. She just said these, like nonchalant things.
Yeah, like, I think he's, like, pretty much, like, he just asks her questions. He just, whatever she says, he just, like, kind of repeats back to her with, like, this, like, creepy stare.
Yeah.
And she's just, like, a weirdo, so she's just, like,
she's
like,
what's your name?
Laughing
like,
and stuff.
What's yours?
Yeah.
And then, like, just points his name tag.
She starts, like, twirling her hair and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's so funny.
She was like, are you looking for something? I don't know, am I? Should I be? It's like, bruh. But it worked, man. Cal's advice worked.
No, yeah. I mean, later in the movie, we see how weird that Beth is.
Yeah,
so, like,
she's definitely a red flag.
But yeah, I mean, I guess my favorite main character, I might enjoy Cal.
Cal?
Yeah, I was kind of torn between Cal and Paul Rudd's character, who's actually escaping me right now, the name of Paul Rudd's. David. Okay, yeah. But Cal has like some great lines.
He does, man.
He like hits some of those I think some of the best lines, but he plays, kind of like this kind of he's kind of like a metalhead stoner kind of guy.
Up, goatee.
Yeah, it's actually Seth Rogen playing like I think a pretty different
Really
character
role,
than he normally is. But yeah, like he's just like I feel like one line. This is like one of my favorite lines in the movie. Is they go speed dating at one point.
Right.
And one of the speed dating women is clearly a lesbian, and she's like her name tag says Gina, and Steve Carell's like. He's like, oh, nice to meet you, Gina. And she's like, actually, it's Gina. And she like proceeds to like say like she's looking to date men again. He's feminine enough to like for her to make the jump back over or something. And there's a part when they're walking out, and I just think this is such a great line. It's like Cal says it like they're like all like, oh, who's your favorite? He's like, actually, believe it or not, Gina. Like, it's just I don't know. I just think he's got a great character arc, like and he's
Seth Rogen brings him to life perfectly, man.
Yeah, I mean, they do have a good ensemble, and Paul Rudd's David, he's pretty good. He's like kind of nicer to Steve Carell's character, to Andy, but he's like kind of psycho because like this girl he dated for 4 months, like 2 years ago, broke up with him, and he's like been stuck on that since.
Obsessed, yeah. Remember, like the one guy was looking for like a wireless phone.
Yeah, I think
he's like showing him a camera.
Yeah, he's like drunk, and he's like making like a video blog
to his ex.
to his ex.
Like all the TVs are showing him.
Yeah, But yeah, so that's who I would say my favorite of the main cast is. But I guess what I'm gonna go with now is, who's your favorite supporting character?
My favorite supporting character, and I don't even know if he has a name, but to me personally, like comedic wise, it was Kevin Hart's character. I don't know if you remember, but like,
I think he's not named.
I think he was just like a customer. I'm looking.
And that's back when Kevin Hart was like. That was like kind of how he got known.
Yeah,
man. I don't know if you know that.
But
Kevin Hart like got his start making cameos like that in movies.
Yeah, like seriously, movie and,
like there were a lot of movies where like Kevin Hart would have these bit scenes,
right?
And that's like how he got his start.
Like in Scary Movie 2 or 3 or whatever it was. But yeah, like when he came in there and he was just trying to get like all these like deals from Jay and and they just started going off on each other, man. That was hilarious. And like he's like threatening Steve Carell, he's threatening Jay, and Jay's like, Kevin Hart's character's like, I'm gonna come back here, I'm gonna pop both y'all asses. And Jay's like, alright, he's like, aim high, because Kevin Hart's so short. And I don't know, man.
He's saying aim high.
Yeah, he's like aim high because they're taller than him. And Jay said some crazy things, man. I don't want to say on the pod, man, but he was like, I did such and such to dwarves back in prison. I'll do it to you. And I was like, all right.
I just saw this the other day. I don't remember all the details of that one.
Yeah, that was hilarious, man. Now, he's definitely, I think, my favorite supporting character.
Yeah.
Because he definitely supports Jay's character, who I kind of wish I went with also as my main. Because I love Jay. Love the character of Jay. Hilarious. But yeah, I think he supports Jay's character pretty well. It was a great balance.
No, yeah, definitely. I'd say my favorite supporting character is Paula, who's the manager of the store, played by Jane Lynch, who I like personally. Like, I love Jane Lynch, man.
You are.
I am. Like,
you bring her up like once a month.
I don't know if that's true.
You love her work, man.
I think she has incredible deadpan humor. Like, her delivery is so funny. So she plays the boss. And she kind of is like this, like, got like a tough attitude, like, kind of like, but also at the same time, like, doesn't care about certain stuff. Like when David's like going crazy with the customer with the camera, like yelling about his ex. Like, she's just kind of like, all right, we're gonna get him off the floor. Yeah. Like, like she's like kind of, but I think one of the funniest parts of the movie is with Paul. So she, like everybody else at the store, learns of Andy's secret, and she then makes like sexual advances towards him, and it's funny too, because if those of you who don't know Jane Lynch, she played the cheerleading coach on Glee. I think that might help some of our audience might. I didn't watch that show, so I don't even know.
I do remember seeing her.
Yeah, I don't know what the character's name was, but I think the one episode I saw of Glee, she was my favorite part, because I love her. But, Jane Lynch is not like, she's got sort of a, like kind of more of a butch disposition.
Right.
And so that's what makes this scene so much. So she gets up in Andy's face and like gives him a proposition of being friends with benefits, which she uses a lot more crass term for. And she then tells him this story about how like she had I guess like had an affair with like her parents' gardener from Guatemala when she was like when she was younger, and like it's such a creepy story. And then she's like inches from Andy's face, and she starts to sing like this nonsense Spanish love song that the gardener allegedly sang to her, just like Condor. Like she's like has all these like high notes, and then at the end, man, she's just like she like leans in kind of like she might smell Andy or something. She's just like, wow. she's like, let me know if you reconsider.
It's like cougar out here, man.
It's
on the prowl.
It's so I literally think that's the funniest part of the
You think
movie
so?
is her singing that song to him, like, because it's so
random,
weird.
yeah.
And it's like she delivers it with such deadpan.
Oh, she's fantastic.
I really think she's hilarious.
She's in Wreck-It Ralph too.
She was, and also Best in Show for maybe the
show.
people in our audience who are a little bit older.
What was it, Another Cinderella Story? I believe something like that.
I just know the name of that movie. I don't. If you showed me the poster, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know either. But
what's that about? Real quick.
I have no idea.
No, we don't.
I
just
looked up Jane.
Okay, yeah. I was like, I know that name. Know that name.
She's in Role Models.
Was she?
Yeah.
Alright, guys. This episode's now just about
the
Jane Lynch.
Lynch episode.
Dude, I would do. I like her that much that I would do.
Well.
Yeah.
One day.
What's that?
Oh, she's in Talladega Nights.
Oh yeah, she's Will Ferrell's mom.
Alvin and the Chipmunks. She was in a lot.
Oh no, yeah, she's been.
Velma.
Oh yeah, is she in Velma?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that would be my favorite side character. But we gotta
Yeah,
as much as I love Jane Lynch, we gotta move forward.
Right.
So something I want to get into this movie with you, man, is like the tone and like the messaging of this movie.
Right.
Because this might sound corny, and I like the messaging of the movie. In the end, it says that it doesn't like shame Andy for being the 40-year-old virgin.
Yeah, no.
In the end, it is like, because he finds a meaningful relationship,
Right.
and he's able to have that without sex, and then he gets married. He
Right.
waits until marriage, and it's not portrayed as like lame or being bad. It's like, so I kind of like that. It's not.
He ends up being a maniac at the end of it.
What?
He ends up becoming like a maniac at the end.
What are you?
Maniac romantically.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Romantic maniac.
No, yeah, I thought you were talking about like the song and dance number at the end.
No,
I was
no.
like, I was like, wait, Mike, do you not remember this movie? I don't remember that becoming a maniac. But no, I guess what I'm saying is I like that it's not pushing an agenda.
Right.
Or I don't know, like, does that sound lame?
I mean, no,
I like that the message of the movie is
about this pure guy.
Is everybody like? It's not saying that there's a right or wrong way to live your life.
Right.
I guess it's not shaming him.
Right.
It's not necessarily shaming anybody else either. You know what I mean?
Right. I think a good message in the movie is, help your friends out. It seems like all his friends, I mean, whether it was for good or bad, it seemed like his friends really kind of pulled through for him. They really wanted him to...
Yeah, no, I mean, they were smart, but I think in the end, it's really, like, stay true to yourself.
Right. No,
because when he is true to himself, that's when he finds...
the right one.
That's when he finds love.
Exactly.
I guess the one final thing that I wanted to say, man, is I think it's an example of a great comedy movie of the 2000s.
Okay.
And I feel like comedy movies like that do not get made. And we've touched on this before.
Right.
And I guess, like, why do you think comedy movies, like, what happened?
Me personally, I feel like the audience is, for some reason, more offended by things. And I just feel like, the whole conversation, they're playing cards and they're talking about, like, bags of sand. I feel like today, if that was in theaters, maybe there'd be some flack about that.
I don't think I think there are plenty of other scenes that would be
like
the parts that people would be upset about.
For sure. But, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like there's too much cancel culture going on, man. I just feel like people are just kind of, like, anxious to kind of kill the joke and make everything like, oh, this person's, they try to label everybody.
Yeah. When it's
like a cyst of some kind.
I agree. I think that there is there's not enough nuance anymore.
All right.
People aren't able to watch comedy and understand as much, like,
right.
It's just a joke.
Yeah.
Or what's the what's the purpose of the joke?
Right.
Who are they really making fun of here?
People want to like dissect it.
Because like a lot of the guys in this movie that they're saying something offensive, but like I feel like it's more of a reflection on that character. That character's supposed to be kind of like a scumbag,
right?
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'd say like that, but yeah, I feel like kind of there haven't been that many like big comedy movies.
I know we
and like the ones that they like try to make, like they end up like failing. Like they're not.
Because man, they're not
doing it, or they're not that good. Like
like because they're censoring themselves, man. They don't want to. I don't know if they're censoring themselves, but I think they are. I think they're kind of holding back, man. Because comedy's supposed to be to me, it's supposed to be offensive. It's supposed to be just a joke. Like there's no real meaning behind it. There's no hateful rhetoric behind it. It's
So I guess I would use like different language. Like I don't think comedy is necessarily supposed to be offensive. I mean, I think it can be. Yeah. Well, I think what's important, what you said with it's the hate.
Right.
That's what makes the big difference.
Right. No.
What's the intent? But I think like maybe there's like not enough people don't differentiate between like
actual hate
and like
comedy,
critique or just lighthearted satire, or if they're trying to have a character who's like represent, like I think a good example like is Steve Carell's Michael Scott.
Right.
Michael Scott says a bunch of horrible stuff, but like we're not laughing at what he's saying so much as we're laughing at like, oh my God, he's so weird. He's so horrible.
Yeah,
why is he acting like this? This is like,
boss.
that. Yeah, that's the
joke.
That's more of the intended humor. Well, yeah. So,
and I personally think that's why a lot of like animated series are so popular, because you don't really see too many actors on camera saying like offensive fun. When I say offensive, I don't mean to hurt people. I mean like just edgy, funny.
Yeah, I get
you know what I mean. Like,
no, I think you and I are in agreement. I guess I just would phrase it.
You would phrase it more.
But like I think
intelligently,
that's not what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think that you and I are on the same page. We're just saying it with slightly different.
Yeah. I'm saying at a third grade level. You're saying
at
college graduate level. I just feel like you can get away with stuff in like animation.
With animation,
now, yeah.
I mean, but that's like the beauty of animation.
Right.
You can send the characters to space one day and not have to change the budget.
Right. Exactly. And like I know Seth MacFarlane does some crazy things, but you can see Peter Griffin say a horrible, funny joke and just laugh at it. But like if you see Seth MacFarlane do it, you might have those people that kind of want to cancel him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or be like, oh, that was so offensive because it came out of humans. Like, you know what I mean?
That's interesting. No, Mike, that's really interesting.
I
wish we had a little more time for this, because I think you might be onto something.
Yeah, I mean,
I think this could be researched. Like, do people get more angry at the cartoons or the live action shows that are saying the same amount of jokes? Is there a difference?
I really think, and to kind of sum up what I'm saying and try to sum up intelligently, I'm trying to say that you don't see too many great comedy movies anymore because nobody wants to be caught on camera saying something that can be used against them. But you see a lot of funny, over-the-top, crazy animation that get away with, saying some terrible things that are also funny, and there's no repercussions for it. Like South Park, you know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I think that's a big reason. I just think people can't handle it anymore.
All right.
It's soft.
I think we should look more into some of your theory there. That sounds interesting. I feel like that could be studied. You know what I mean?
I can see that.
All right. Well, the last thing I want to talk about, man, is for Valentine's Day, is dating apps.
Ooh, dating apps.
So I don't know. Do you have any experience with the dating apps?
Dude, I was on not gonna lie to you, bro. I was a Tinder Gold member for a minute, for like a week.
All right, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what? I commend your honesty.
Yeah, bro.
And you know what?
Friend from it.
You know what? I will, because of your bravery, I will also say Yeah, I also purchased Tinder Gold.
My man. Clever, baby.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
honestly,
fun,
all right,
man.
and that can break us right into it, because I think the dating apps are, as guys, we're losing already.
Yeah.
With the dating apps, because it is, I think it's like 75% men,
Yeah.
like 25% women on these dating apps. So like you kind of have to like that extra boost you get with the Tinder Gold or whatever. There's no shame in that.
It's fun. It's a fun app. It's fun, bro. It's the money
okay,
part.
I don't know about that, but
the money part's not fun. You know, all the different subscriptions and like.
Well, all right. So I don't know. Did you ever had any success?
I did, man.
On the dating.
I did one time, and that's kind of when I stopped it.
Okay.
That's when I stopped it. I don't want to get too much detail about the success, man, but like it was successful, bro.
Did you? All right, like.
I met up with her.
But like you didn't have a relationship.
No.
Okay. All right.
A one-night relationship.
Okay.
Nah, man. I mean, straight up. I think it's. I think. Like I said, man, as a man, kind of have this.
No, yeah. I mean, for sure. I mean, with me, I was using, and you probably laugh at me. I was using Tinder the hopes to meet someone, start like a relationship.
Yeah, me too, bro. I mean, straight up. Yeah.
I've used some of the other ones, but I feel like Tinder was the most successful one that I used, and that's not saying a lot, man.
Right.
So I matched with this girl twice, actually, 2 different times.
That's crazy.
Talked, it never really went anywhere. Then a year later, I met her out of context. Just met her in life.
Really?
And from there, I was able to get her on a date because kind of had the added advantage. So I guess Tinder came in handy for one thing. I was like, all right, well, I know she thinks I'm at least mildly attractive.
Right.
Like, all right. So we went on a date, and things kind of fizzled within, shortly after that. Like there was talking back and forth on the phone, but not much after that. So I'd have to say, like, yeah, not too much success on the dating apps, I'd say.
Dude, I know there's some people, man. Like,
and that was like, honestly, that was the most successful.
Yeah.
I think another time I talked to someone for like a couple days, but it's hard.
It's hard.
I'm getting matches.
You go in there looking for love, man. I did too, bro. I went on there looking for like someone just like me, man, that I could like have a relationship with and spend a good amount of time with, but it didn't happen. Dude, I do know there's some guys on there that get like meet women all the time off Tinder, and I'm just looking at them like, dude.
Are they lying though?
I hope not. Well, I hope so. I mean, I really don't know, man. I'm just looking at them like, how? Why? What is going on here? And I know there's some funny dating app names. Like there's this one called Plenty of Fish.
That one's like messed up.
Is it? It's a funny name.
Honestly, man, that one's like shady.
Really?
I went on that one and like deleted it within like an hour or something.
For real? What is it?
Honestly, I'm being honest. Most of the profiles, I like a lot of them were like solicitation for like prostitution. Like
really?
like
dang.
I was like, this is. I mean, there were real people too, but like I was like looking at most of these profiles. I was like, all right, there's like a lot of people that are like
not real,
trying to just like arrange something here, and I was like, yeah. So I deleted that off my phone. I think like.
Is it an app or was it an app?
Yeah, it was an app, but yeah, I deleted that off my phone. I was like, yeah, this is.
Dude, Facebook has a dating
app
on it. Yeah. But I'm like,
you can meet a nice 40-year-old mother or two on that. No,
dude, for sure.
Because Facebook's for old people, right?
Right. Or
I hope that joke landed.
Or a grandmother of 7.
There you go. Do you use Facebook at all still?
I don't like posts on it, but I use it for like reels. I just kind of view on it.
You would,
dude.
You would still use Facebook.
I do actually. I'm an older soul, dude. I really wanted to sign up for Facebook dating, but I was like, nah. Like, what if it tells all my friends on there that I'm on there?
I know, yeah. There's like that.
I don't want
there's that paranoia.
My family to get notifications.
There's also like the paranoia of like,
look desperate.
because like like when you're on like Tinder, you're like in the area, and if you see like someone you know on the profile, even if you don't swipe on them or whatever, like you're like, oh man, they know that they know I'm on this now. Like
they saw me. Man.
Yeah, like and like now like what if they're like.
Dude,
what if they're like showing it to like people I don't know.
That's
like,
kind of why I deleted.
I mean, in the end, but you do got to think about like, all right, they're in the same boat as
I am.
So like, you know,
for a relationship,
you know.
And there's some girls like on Tinder too, straight up like soliciting. Like one girl matched with me. I'm like, we ended up exchanging numbers. I'm like, instantly she was trying to like sell me like pictures before OnlyFans was a thing, and I was just like, no, like.
Yeah, and
out
like,
of my phone.
There's some that are like robots too.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Sure.
You're like,
right, based in like Pakistan.
I don't know where they're from, but yeah, I mean, in the end, though, I will say to dating apps, you know, I'm not trying to say that they're wrong.
No,
and
they're not right now.
Yeah. I mean, and maybe in the future I will use them again. Maybe I don't know. And I know people that have met. I know people who are married.
There are success stories.
And they met on dating apps. So I don't want to knock that, and if anybody's listening, they're on that, you know, I don't want them to feel like they're...
Yeah. I hope you know
they're bad.
You're not bad.
For using dating apps. But,
and if you feel like you're bad for using dating apps, you're probably the reason why we don't have funny comedy movies anymore, because you're famous right now. So.
There you go.
Yeah, buddy, gotta keep it real.
No, yeah, I got you, man. Yeah, Tinder users are the reason
we
don't have funny comedies.
Nah, well, you get offended by what Joe said.
Nah,
You're probably the reason why.
I got you, man. Well,
dude, I think it was a good episode.
Yeah.
All right. Valentine's.
Would you say it was a highly original Valentine's Day episode?
I say it was a very highly original Valentine's Day episode.
All right.
I really do. The only thing that would make it better is if we had chocolate right now.
Well, Mike, guess what I just ordered?
What?
Indian food about an hour ago. All right, guys. Have a happy Valentine's Day, and we will see you next week.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a good one. Stay safe.